Welcome back, everybody, for the second quarter of the Florida State Georgia Tech game, and it's all downhill from here, really. Florida State up 10-0 after the first drive of the first couple drives of the post delay action, and now coming out, we are about to see everything change for several reasons. One of which is this play, which really should have had the defense about ready for about 5 different personal fouls, or at least some very legal chip on the shoulder sort of play. But this is a very dirty play about to happen. This is where Kaindoh gets hurt. That is a cheap shot, folks. That inside-out cut block on the edge guy. That's cheap. But here's the other thing. This is also not how you're supposed to play this in terms of technique from the edge guy. So even if this had been blocked with this sort of cheap shot, had Kaindoh actually attacked this correctly, he probably is feeling pretty healthy right now, relatively speaking. So this is not ideal. Now this is a read. Now it's unusual, by the way, that you're going to get an inside zone with a split zone from the H-back blocking back here. It's pretty unusual that you're going to get the H-back blocking back on the guy that's actually being read, but that's actually what they're doing here. So they're reading Kaindoh and they're also blocking him. So, and that's part of why this is so cheap, is he's cutting a guy that's actually looking in the backfield here. But again, technique is not great here. But there's still plenty to be frustrated about at other positions. And the first place that I'm frustrated is right here. If you look at the one technique, he is one-on-one against the offensive guard. And the offensive guard just flat washes him down the line of scrimmage. This is really good. I mean, this is NFL draft tape from the guard. Because what you're hoping to do as a guard here is step right. It's zone. So step right, get that second foot in the ground, and then try to get the angle on that player, and then turn that butt to where you're facing the sideline, and you pin him to that other side, and all of a sudden now you've got a full-on hole here. And he does this with no help. Center doesn't help. Center's blocking back. This right here, that's why this play is successful more than anything else. Lovett cannot allow himself to get washed and then turned here. He's pinned. You can't let that happen. You've got to get your hands to the body of the offensive guard and then shed this. You should be throwing him. But he's playing too high, not playing strong enough with the lower body, and he just gets washed. And on the other side, Marvin Wilson, who they're running opposite sides, so it's nothing, but he also doesn't really get any push. Now, he does a good job of shedding and getting down the line of scrimmage. I'll give him credit there. But this is just not very good up front. You've got to be better than this. And that allows the offensive guard or the offensive tackle, and I would like to see, by the way, this offensive tackle, as he steps down, I want to see this edge guy get your hands on him. Push him, get your hand on his hip and push him down the line of scrimmage a little bit. Again, that's part of the technique here. Push down the line of scrimmage and close down that gap and force this guy to bounce. Instead, you're just kind of finessing. You're doing this finesse sort of chopping your feet thing. I just don't like it. Get your hand on him. Make it, push him inside a little bit while you're watching the quarterback. Close that down, and then if the quarterback pulls it, you're in position to pursue. Not terrible from the backer here. Does a good job taking on that tackle, though the tackle's too free to get there. And then not bad also from the Will backer. So these guys actually do a pretty good job. And Gainer definitely had the better game of the stud linebackers, even though I want him at the Fox position. I thought he played better than Deloach at that position. So now, no Kaindoh, and you can see that offensively things change at that point because they are able to run at this edge much better than they had been the rest of the game. But now you're looking at a long yardage situation. They're way behind the chain, 2nd and 18 after that illegal block. And then you're going to see Janarius Robinson at the Fox position. He lines up in the B gap and then drops off in coverage. Now, he just is not really, he's not a coverage guy. He's there, but just not really a guy you want in coverage. And all they had to do is wait long enough for him to be picked on. So they're dropping off behind him, got the corner taken off. And with this 3-man rush, with the guys that they have, there's no real threat here. That's not good from Marvin Wilson. He's trying to speed rush and just gets pushed out of the way. And then this is average from Lovett, who it doesn't get any push. So there's nothing here. And then from the edge here, this is just not very good at all from 30. Quayshawn Fuller you've got to get off the ball better, and you've got to be able to get off the block better. There's no pressure here. And as a result, they know this guy can't cover. So now you're looking at like a smash type concept where you've got a guy in the flat. Well, just have him, this is like basketball, just have him go over the top of the guy that can't cover him. And now you've got a big play. This should never happen. I blame the call here. This is a mistake on the part of the Florida State defensive staff asking their guy, and I've talked about this a lot on the podcast, you can't ask your guys to do what they don't do well. And here they're asking Janarius Robinson to do what he's just not going to do well. And that's just a poor job by him, but that's not what his strong suit is. And they don't have anybody else in that zone, so this is it's stealing at that point. And you can see from the back end, look at Janarius. He's okay here, but with no, and he needs to be a little wider, but with no pressure, there's enough time that this weak point in your coverage is just going to get picked on. And you've got no shot. So to me, that's a bad call, and they need to prevent being in that position, in that situation as often as possible. Once again here, defensive tackles is pretty good from Marvin Wilson. I'll give him credit here where he deserves it. Gets in the backfield, disrupts this a little bit. Lovett's getting double teamed. He's okay there. Backer needs to find that and make the play in the backfield a little deeper, but that's overall pretty good. Yeah, this I can live with from Wilson. And that's pretty good from the backer. I'm happy to see this right here. He steps in, triggers downhill, finds the back through the wash. This is good play from a freshman backer. I'd like to see him take it on just a little bit more physically in the hole, but overall I can live with that. Long yardage again. And this is where I think, again, with Amari Gaynor, you can see, get him on the edge, let him try to cause some problems. And I thought Cooper actually played the best of the tackles. This is pretty good from him. He's actually getting double teamed here initially. This is a combo block, and you can see him just control the center and get his hands on the back. That's pretty good. And again, to me, you're not doing the best by Janarius Robinson when you're asking him to do what he's doing there. I think this is, he could be an NFL defensive end, but he's an end. He's not an outside backer. I just don't see the skill set there. Quayshawn Fuller again laid off the ball here. Not too bad from the tackles. Let's see. Got to get a computer that can handle this load a little bit better. But that's why I've got Patreon supporters. Hopefully can afford that soon. Got to stick with it here. So here we go. All right, let's get this moving. And I'm back in the first quarter now. Sorry, everybody. Struggling here. All right. Let's get this moving. There we go. All right. We're back pretty close to where we're supposed to be. And like I said, pretty good from the backers here, or from the defensive tackles here. This is pretty good from Wilson. He gets blocked back a little bit. He's getting doubled. Gets doubled, sheds the double. That's pretty good from Marvin Wilson. Give him credit where credit's due here. Second and goal. That's pretty good. Sheds the double team, splits it, makes a tackle for a 3-yard loss. Or for a 3-yard gain, that is. Still like to see that done in the backfield a little bit more and shed that a little earlier. But overall, that's pretty good. Third and goal. Get a little loop up front. Playing a lot of games up front. I just like to see them turn the edge guys loose a little more. Make the tackle. Make the first tackle. A little friendly fire here. And that's just a low kick. And here, this is telling you something about Norvell and his staff in terms of special teams. They clearly isolated a couple guys that they felt could not handle the beef. And basically what they did is they put 2 guys on one guy here. They put Wilson and Cooper on one guy, and they basically said, beat the heck out of him. Force them to get a little help here. And then that frees Janarius on the angle to be able to get inside. So you see them beating him up, and Janarius then has the angle to make an athletic play, and that is a really athletic play. And the explosiveness that he has is really excellent. He just, laterally speaking, he's not the guy you want in coverage. He's got the explosiveness and the ability to be pretty good on the edge. That's really good. So now, first drive of the second quarter for the offense, and nothing. So here you got a little pull from the guard, trying to get some angles here, but there's just really nothing going on here. They don't do a great job here up front. I'd like to see just a little bit more push from Bavion Johnson, getting a little bit more seal there. If he gets a little more seal on the kick out, they've actually got a chance for this to bust. Getting 4 or 5 yards past the line of scrimmage. So now we're 3rd and 8 after an incompletion. And this should be what's encouraging for Florida State fans. Right there. Up against a rusher, a real ACC pass rusher, even though they're not great pass rushers at Georgia Tech. Shows the feet to get in his set, gets his hands inside, and that's a stalemate right away. Now, Love Taylor is battling, not as talented. You can see his feet. He's a guard playing tackle. You're asking him to do a lot, but that's pretty good. This is plenty of time. And Blackman has plenty of time to set his feet and throw. I'm not sure what he's looking to do here. I think this should come right here. Looking at what you've got, this should have come to the bottom of the screen. It's a bad read. So now, punt team here, and they're doing on punt what I did in high school, which is you have a diagonal snap and only a 2-man shield, which allows the diagonal snap allows you not to block an extra guy on this edge, so you're able to get an extra gunner, which is your adjuster here. You're able to get an extra guy downfield a little quicker as a result, if you want to. Good coverage there. All right, so now, once again, I want you to pay attention right here. Fabian Lovett gets washed. you cannot get washed downfield or down the line of scrimmage as much there. Now, this is where Durden actually wins with his hands and gets in the backfield. Now, what changes this is a really good blitz call. So you have Deloach coming from the secondary before anybody is prepared to make the block there, and so that changes things. It's just a good play call. Yeah, he was lined up offside more than that in this game. And this is where, again, you get guys out of their rush lanes. You can't let him escape here. This is on a combination of Janarius for getting too far upfield. He just gets washed. And then you get Durden, who gets penned up a little bit too much inside, and then you create this nice seam for the scramble. Jeff Sims is kind of like a poor man's Vince Young once he gets actually moving in the open field. Kind of reminds me a little bit of that. Not as big. I don't think as dynamic overall. Has a chance to become a better thrower, but that's basically what he is right now. Now, they do have some nice blitz packages, and you see they do a good job of getting these guys to blitz on time. This is designed as a lead blitz, and then he actually comes on a slight delay. He's supposed to one count, now go. Why? Because this guy's going to draw that extra protection. Back sifts to him. Guard is already working on him, and you get your backer, your Mike backer comes free. Problem is, Mike backer has to come through under control, yes, but you got to make this sack. Good job by Sims to just get rid of this out of bounds. And here's where the loss of Kendo is felt. They're just running outside zone here, and this edge is just not as solid as it was with Kendo on the field. And this is not bad, but he gets himself hooked a little bit, and that allows things to get out there. And Kendo is not letting this happen early in the game. And that's 6 yards? You cannot let that happen. Better job here. But this time, it's just inverted veer, and they're running Jeff Sims, and you get a missed tackle in the backfield. Who was that on the missed tackle? Warner. Does a good job of triggering and getting in there, but you cannot leave your feet there. Can't lunge. You've got to just make the tackle securely. This is better from Lovett. That right there is what you want from Lovett. You see him get his hands into the offensive lineman, and then he ragdolls him and is able to shed. That's good. That I can live with. Weak side backer. So this is Emmett Rice. This is really poor. Just sort of tiptoes along the way and then gets sealed. That's not lovely tape. Good recovery by the stud. Now, I think based on this right here, this is all I needed to see from 42. This is the Baylor transfer. You see the acceleration here right there. He's got some quickness to him that actually is pretty encouraging. Now, this is a screen, so they're letting him by, but the burst is there for him to actually be a player at the Fox. I like him better than Griffiths at that position. Again, I think that position needs somebody that's a little quicker. Not real good screen recognition from these guys. If they let you go that easily, you gotta get turned around and go. And again, this is more of the same on the tackling front from what you got last year. You got to make this tackle. And then a bad angle from Lars Woodby. And you see a little bit of the speed limitation there from the boundary safety. Not ideal. It's a nice little design here. By going bunch with the H and then releasing him, you're basically eliminating the rush from this side. And then you got a blitz on, you keep your back in, and just throw where it wasn't in terms of the little mesh type thing. Get 5 yards, just live to see another play. They were willing to take what Florida State gave them. Got to give them credit for that. And you notice McCray's on the field after that debacle by 1 a couple plays earlier. This is just altogether too soft. If you're Asante Samuel, you cannot give 10 yards of cushion and then not come up against a basic stick route. This is just too easy. They've got to stop giving this much cushion. I'm fine with some cushion, but this is just, I mean, you do this in the ACC and you're going to get cut up. A little pressure, amazing what it'll do. And this is give credit for this interception to the combination of Marvin Wilson. That's a really good shed move. And also the Baylor transfer, whose name is escaping me. That's excellent right there, burst around the edge. What I like is the subtle change in speed. So he sets him up. I'm going to go inside. Nope, I'm going to go outside. And he dips that shoulder a little bit. And a little bit of a quick move, and he's able to bend the corner and get to the quarterback. Those guys getting that pressure there, he's never able to see Samuel, who does his job of understanding that he's passing off the inside guy. And this is rule number 1. If your guy goes inside, if you're on the single receiver side and your guy goes on an immediate shallow, you're looking for something coming from the other side right away. Number 3 becomes number 1 again, and you know that's coming. So step up into that spot, and you get rewarded for proper pattern matching. Now, McCray is right here. Come back inside. And again, Asante hopefully will have seen these on film and realize, dude, I left 2 pick sixes on the field. He's going to make that tackle every time. But if I slow down just a little bit, and I let this guy make the block, I score. And that puts the game away, by the way. You lose 16-13, you take this back for the touchdown, and it's a score. So it's little things like that you have to understand where your blocks are coming from. You have to continue to make those adjustments. But this is a great look at why this becomes a pick. So first of all, right there, that's a first-round play by Marvin Wilson. I want to see this more often. That's a first down play. A first round play. And again, pretty good move here from 42. That's pretty good. Nice little subtle change in speed. Able to bend the edge. But what really makes this right there, you see number 1 going inside, in. Expect somebody to replace him. Sit right in that hole. And get rewarded for being a smart player. That's film study, that's good training, and that's doing your job. Come inside, son. You had a chance at the pick 6. The other thing, by the way, that drives me crazy is all these guys that start running downfield. Make sure you're blocking back. You don't see anybody in front of you. Don't just keep running next to them. Start looking back to see if somebody's coming from behind. So it's 2 plays that should have been pick sixes. Really good plays by Asante Samuel, but finish them off. Now this is a play where this is a set up play for a shot. They really want to hit this deep. Norvell wants to go for the jugular right now after getting the ball in this midfield area on a turnover. This quick change. And they're max protect. They're just going to go post and then cross country. Cross country route comes across. That's fine. But they're trying to hit this. This is what they want. Trying to get the safety crossed up. You can't see it downfield, but I know this play. This is one of Norvell's favorites, and it's a version of one of Norvell's favorites. It's a little post climb. And really what blows this up more than anything is this right here is absolutely horrible by Dante Lucas. This is soft. That right there, that's a defensive end. You're an offensive guard. That is soft. That is really poor. And that's what forces Blackman to come off the primary and then scramble because he can't stay where he needs to go. That's terrible. The other thing that's bad is, take note, if I'm a defensive coordinator, I'm paying very close attention to where Lucas's helmet is, because his helmet is always behind the other guard anytime he's going to be pulling. His weight is always back. He's badly tipping every time he's going to pull. So his weight all the way on you want your linebackers and defensive linemen always to pay attention to the weight pressure of an offensive lineman who's in a 3-point stance, but he's always got his weight back when he has to pull. This is a bad tell. So they need to get this fixed. See, look at that. Before the snap, he's already leaning back. You should just be able to turn. It's not a good bucket step. Turn, get across. He's crossing his legs, which is terrible. You should never cross your legs. And then pitter-patter in a bad athletic position, not prepared for contact. That's just really poor from Lucas all the way around. Nice throw by Blackman, and this is unacceptable. It should be a first down on a 15-yard throw. And once again, Thompson with the Keith Gavin syndrome. And look, if you can't make that catch, you're not worth having out of the field. So do your job, make the catch, get it done. Nice throw by Blackman there. Those are tough throws, actually. And I'll give Warren Thompson credit for blocking here. This is drop the football, but he's blocking like he's blocking his tail off there. That's pretty good. Getting yourself into a third and a little more manageable. Once again, you see the nub formation. Norvell uses more of this than just about anybody I've studied. He loves having the nub to the boundary. And this is an example where you've got a new center. They're making some shifts as Smith is on the sideline for a series, and the center is the one that's at fault there. So now you're back to 3rd and 16. The very thing you were trying to avoid. You go empty. And what's, again, should be really encouraging for Florida State fans, look at how much time he has to throw here. Ball is snapped at 46. 3 seconds, 4 seconds, 5 seconds, 6 seconds, 7 seconds before he actually throws this ball and makes a stupid throw. Now the other thing here, he's fine. No pressure. There's no reason to bail out here. I know he wants to step up here, but there's no reason to do it. Now, this is annoying because we can't see upfield. Show the safeties. # show the safeties. Sign the petition, folks. But go through your reads. Continue with your progressions. Let those guys get upfield, and they'll open a seam for you. Don't get up there too early. You're actually making your offensive line's job more difficult. Just stay back here where you're supposed to be. Let them do their thing. And then as you start to get real pressure, that's when you actually make your move. And then finally he comes off of it and then makes an ill-advised throw against a guy who was actually coming up initially, kind of feinted him. He's coming up. He sees him start to come up, moves his eyes elsewhere, and then you see what's going on. I love the way that Norvell handled him here. Listen to me. Now, We can see upfield here and see what he's looking at. Place he should be going is right there. That's your spot. You got really two options. One is this little corner route. You can go high-low here, but he's thinking field side here. And what he's looking boundary side initially. He's checking. He sees that he's going to have a guy over the top. He sees this guy drop. So he's starting here. Recognizes that that's not ideal for him. And he comes to this side, and it should come from here to here to here. And this is where he should be looking. You got the safety who's going backwards. You've got your tight end who's flexed. As soon as he clears this backer, you should be able to fit that ball into that window right there. You should be throwing right now. Put that ball into that window right in here and let your guy go up and get it. And you got a chance. But the thing is, by moving up in the pocket, he's eliminated his window. The other place he could go is right here. You hit that right there, and you throw a little bit to the outside to take away anything over the top. Just sort of sit your receiver down, throw it right in here. You could make either one of these throws. I actually like this one better, but your read progression is going to go here, 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 and then here. You're just kind of scanning across on this one. So there's space to hit there. If you're throwing confidently, you've got your window, bam, make that throw. If you don't feel confident in that throw because this guy is taking it away, then you just hit right there and right up that seam. Either one of those is a first down, and you've just got to make a confident throw. But Blackman is just not playing confident football right now, and it's understandable. He's not comfortable in what he's in the offense. And you can see he sees this player start to come up, makes a guy miss, and he thinks he's still coming up and throws it on the basis of that, but he's stopped and decided to go back and throws it right to him. So he was going off of what he thought he saw he was going to do just an instant earlier, brought his eyes down to make a guy miss and then made the throw. And again, I really like this. It's okay. It's over. Good stuff. Try to build the confidence of your player. Good blitz here from the boundary. And actually, honestly, you can see the difference with a little bit faster player from the boundary here. I think Woody is a little faster than Woodby. And this, you've got the stud and the boundary safety coming from each side. And Janarius wins as well. So this is basically a jailbreak. Not ideal if you're Sims. Contrary to what they showed, these guys are not blitzing. That's good. Much better play from the tackles here. That's what you want to see. They're on the opposite side of the line of scrimmage, and Cooper sheds and is able to get his hands on him. That's really good play from the defensive tackle. Cooper, to me, was the best player in the on the interior in this game. Again, I don't like this call because you're asking Janarius Robinson to be the spy, and he's not faster than Sims. To me, just let him rush. But you've got him actually in a spy role. If you're going to do this, have a guy like Gainer here. Have a guy who is actually going to be able to outrun Sims to the edge. And I know it's 3rd and 15, but still, it's the principle of the thing. And all of this stunting, I mean, sometimes it helps, but, you're doing a lot of stunting here, and these guys are just kind of moving laterally. They're not actually getting pressure initially. Nice job by Dix. He runs better than I thought he would. Once more, for the hat trick, this time it's Marvin Wilson. And at this point, you got to feel pretty good if you're Florida State that you should be winning. You're going to win this game. They've had 3 opportunities that you've managed to block, or 2 opportunities you managed to block, and then you're about to have a third. This is a bit ugly. So this is actually a two-way screen. Norvell likes to do these. You actually have an option at the bottom, which would go to Pokey Wilson, and you're going to have the lineman release to get under that, or to get over top of that. And then you have the one to the back at the top. So you're going to have two linemen release here, 2 linemen release here, and you're going to have receivers blocking on either side. And basically, he's just going to read where the numbers are. So you got 2 over 2 on each side. This becomes 3, so that's the easier throw. Go ahead and take that. Thing is, had he chosen to go this side, he's actually got a better situation. My guess is that when they go back over this, they're going to like this other side, and they'll work on making that read. But that is a double screen. You can go to either side. Once again, the thing that I like seeing from the offensive line is there's not as much leakage as what we've seen in prior years. Brady Scott out there for this drive, trying to rotate a little bit. Again, getting a sense of what they've got up front. Bavion Johnson at center. A little low snap, but overall pretty good. Once again, Brady Scott getting beat up a little bit on the interior. He moves all right, but he has struggled with stronger guys basically since he got on campus. He just seems to struggle a little bit with his leverage. But Washington still looks good. That's pretty good. Let him go. Learn to see another play. Trying to be calm with him. Didn't see the proper read. Once again, pretty good staying in your lanes here. Pretty good block there. But again, lanes are all closed down. There's nothing there. And Woodby playing 2-hand touch here. Lars Woodby needs to make contact here. Yeah, you drove him into somebody else, but put your shoulder into him. Physical play, man. That's really good right there. This is what you want to see from them, and that's nice play by 35. Also, True Thompson doing a good job here, making sure that he's not getting washed, but he's also working down, extending this out. So stretching the play, but not getting too far washed. Durden, I'd like to see him not get hooked so easily, but pretty good by 35. I can live with that. So now here you've got, man, this is really bad. Oh, up front. So first of all, you have the defensive tackle here attacking the tackle. Now his gap, he's the three technique. He's got the gap between the guard and the tackle. So that means if the guard comes and steps this way, he's got to step with it and close this down. So the more he closes this down the line of scrimmage, the less a hole can open up. Thompson here at the nose has to hold up here, and as he sees these guys trying to block him this direction, he can't let himself get washed down the line of scrimmage. And then you've got an edge guy here who, it's not terrible. That's actually a pretty good fight. I'll take that. I can live it. I can live with it at least. He's forcing the H-back to combo him, working his way up to the backers. And then from the backers, 35 has the B gap here. So he's got to work his way from here. And then if that gap is closed, if there's no space there, then he's supposed to find any sort of space and work his way to it. So he should be coming from here, recognize that that gap is closed, and start hitting this gap here. So he's a little late on recognizing that, tries to find the ball, not as good as it could be. But the real problem in the backers is right here. This is Emmett Rice, and watch him just tiptoe. He just got blocked. You got to scrape down the line of scrimmage, not tiptoe. You got to work down the line of scrimmage now at the pace that they're trying to get you. And you cannot let this guy get the angle on you. You've got to get over top of this guy, run through him, and get right to your gap. This is in his gap that this ultimately hits. The gap's bigger than it should be because of Durden. There's nobody in the gap because Rice gets blocked, and you wind up with Gainer having to make a play coming back from the other side. See, Gainer has here, and he works his way back. It should be here and back, here and back. Here is where the tackle should have been made to begin with. So just not very good. That's just terrible play up front. Once again, 3rd and 1. You've got an elite defensive line, and they easily get it. That's just not how that should be. You should have somebody in the backfield here, and you should have your defensive lineman actually making this tackle in the backfield. But they were the better prepared, more physical team, and that's year 2 of a really good coaching staff. But still, if you've got supposedly elite athletes there, you got to have a difference. You got to have a difference maker up there. It's a good rush right there by 55. Nice little dip, runs the hoop, bends, just doesn't finish. And these guys are getting buried inside. Pretty good by True Thompson. Good effort. Chasing after him. You see that effort there. Where you don't see the effort is from 16 here. I'm just jogging. Oh, there he is. Oh, I could have made contact, but I'm just jogging along. That is not the Florida State that I'm familiar with. Well, I'm getting more familiar with it over recent years, but that's not traditional Florida State football. This should have been a pick 6 and end of the game right here. Catch the ball. They run this to death. This is one of Norvell's favorite concepts in this context. Just going to run little quick outs. Jump it. Make the catch. Hold up your finger once you get to the end zone. Again, had a chance to put this game away. It's less funny when you lose. Got to make a play when it comes to you, and that's been a problem at Florida State for a long time. Is plays are there to be had, but guys just don't make those plays. So 2-minute drill here, end of the half. Don't want to really put him in too much danger. So if I'm the play caller, I'm thinking screen initially. Got a little bit of a hiccup on my computer here once again. Like I said, I'm thinking screen here if I'm the play caller. Trying to make it easy on my quarterback. Maybe get something that squirts. I don't know what's going on here, but it's actually supposed to be there we go. So Norvell not thinking screen. He's wanting to go up top. And he was right. You have every opportunity here. Now, I want to call attention. He gets the snap with 147. When does he throw it? He had about 3 seconds to throw that ball. Puts it in there. Again, plenty of time. Tons of time to make this throw. Puts it right on the money. Several really good throws from Blackmon just dropped. And if you're going to be an All-American caliber player, if you're going to be taking umbrage to people leaving you off their top draft player list, you better make that catch. Again, this is another opportunity to put this game away. You go up 3 scores here, this game's over. It's not a hard catch for him either. He's made that catch a bunch. And this was also not ideal because you lose your offensive tackle here, which, you know, he goes down. Or that was, I think that was actually, was that Lucas? Was this the one that Lucas actually went down for a little bit? Yeah, that's Lucas on the ground again, dealing with that ankle still. So now you didn't get your first down, so you hand it off. This is standard work for an offensive coordinator. Just outside zone. Nice run. Now 3rd and 3. They love the little Y stick on third and short. They'll run the heck out of that. Go hurry up. And see, Blackmon's capable. He can make these throws, but his receivers have to help him and actually make these catches when they're there. That's, by the way, very similar to the throw that I wanted him to make on the prior one. We were looking from the backside. But once again, look at the time. Ball snapped at 52. Ball's thrown at 49. That's 3 seconds. He's got plenty of time. Can hang in there and make the catch or make the throw. Solid catch by Warren Thompson. He's batting about 50%. Not great, but at least got that one. And now this compressed bit, you're going to expect out of Norvell's offense for these to be oftentimes little outs. It's not bad from Blackmon there. He panicked a little early, had a little pressure, just step up. He's trying to get upfield a little too quickly, but overall pretty good. Decent use of timeouts. Again, plenty of time here. Not using his time as well as he could. Now, who gets beat here? It's Bavion Johnson that gets bullied a little bit here. One thing about Bavion, he doesn't bend that well, and he does play too high at times, and that's when he's going to get bullied. And this was a bad decision by Blackmon. It's one that as a receiver you resent. You know, middle of the field close coverage, you cannot throw the post. And both these guys get hurt as a result. This is an immediate read situation. So first of all, you should be looking, where's the safety? Safety's middle of the field. The one place I cannot throw it then is the post. I cannot lead my guy to the post, but he has eyes for one guy. Where this should be going, he should be looking right there. He should be recognizing that this is middle of the field closed, and this should be going right here. It's right there. Release it. You get your first down. Guy goes out of bounds. No problem. You cannot make this throw and put your guy in danger. That's just basics. That's elementary quarterbacking. And now you wind up in a 4th and 7. And once again, ball snapped with 19 seconds. He's got all day, and he actually drifts into trouble. Don't get up here. What are you doing? Stay right where you are, right there, and you're fine. Now you've drifted into trouble, and now you have to escape. And you get lucky. Not great management there, considering they actually had a timeout. Almost let the clock run out in order to spike it, but they had a timeout. And then this is, I think, why they didn't try the field goal from 48 yards later in the game from the right hash. Growthhouse just doesn't look like he's real comfortable from the hash, especially from that distance. So, and I'm not sure he didn't tweak something a little bit there. You look at what happened here. Gets run into here. Who did he get run into by? Yeah, probably could have called that, to be honest. But that's where things end. We're going to go ahead and end our second quarter here, and I will be back with the third quarter. Probably do a quicker version of the third and fourth quarters. Don't want to spend too much time on that, but release it at least one more video this week, and then we'll get to looking at Miami.